talkSPORT's John Jackson has been speaking to two-time former unified world champion Anthony Joshua at this weekend's Formula E in Monaco. He revealed that his next fight is set to take place at Wembley in September and outlined who he may be facing.
Obviously, you've come off the back of a very strong performance, and I believe we've got a date set for later this year and also 3 names in the frame for your next fight.
Yeah, so some date between September the 20th to September the 25th, for example, any time in between there. But listen, whenever they tell me there's a date, you know I'll be ready, 100%.
Okay, and it's going to be in London.
Well, that's word on the streets.
That.
It's going to be in London, Wembley Stadium. This is what I'm being told. So if that's what they say, they normally back their word. So yeah, let's go with that. Wembley, September the 20th or 21st, 22nd, sometime in there.
Book that week off. If you're thinking of coming to Wembley Stadium,
exactly.
Be in the North London area between those days.
Yeah.
And when we're talking about names in the frame, we spoke a little bit earlier on the Formula E stage. 3 names in the frame.
So what they've got on June the 1st, in Saudi Arabia, they've got the 5 versus 5 card. We've got Filip Hrgović versus Daniel Dubois. You've got Zhang Zhili versus Deontay Wilder. So providing one of those look good, the one who looks the best, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh is saying, I want you to fight, because what he says is that in the future, I want people to look back at your record and say you took on the best. I said, now you're speaking my language. So out of that pool, I believe that's who I'm going to be fighting. One of those.
That sounds like a really beautiful relationship you've got there with him.
Yeah,
you're on the same page.
Exactly. We're on the same page, and he's on the same page as the fans as well. Do you know what I'm saying? So he's trying to deliver what the fans want. I know they want that big fight with Tyson Fury, and he's working on it. Fury's got his obligations with Usyk, so I've got to make sure I stay focused and disciplined, make sure I keep on steamrolling through opponents so I can get closer and closer to have an opportunity to fight for the fans and fight for myself, me versus Tyson Fury, and hopefully it'll be in London as well.
Perfect. I understand it was quite close for you and Deontay Wilder to face each other. Yeah. If he gets through this next fight,
let's go.
Could that happen? You'd be up for that?
110%.
Okay.
If it's, I think that if he goes out there and looks good, especially, that will kind of reignite that flame that he had, because boxing is all about perception. You can look bad one fight and go out there the next fight and look good, and everyone says, yeah, he's back. So I pray that he does his thing. I pray that Zhang does his thing. Whichever one looks good and whichever one His Excellency wants, I'm ready.
Do you think that he's got enough to get past Zhang?
Yeah, who? Wilder.
To Wilder, yeah.
Of course. Let me tell you something. The heavyweight division is a division that's so interesting because you just never know who's going to win, you know. And you're at a stage now where there's no like fights that are in, like, let's say, more in your favour than mine. It's quite an even playing field. So on the night, you got to make sure you get your popcorn ready. You're sat down because you just don't know which way the fight's going to go.
Couple of questions about trilogies.
Yeah.
Alexander Usyk.
Let's go.
You up for that? You
100%.
Up for ending on a high with that trilogy?
Yeah, but ultimately, it's what the fans want. If the fans want to see it, they'll get it, you know. But for me personally, of course, I'd love to compete with Alexander Usyk, plus many more. But it's really what the fans want, and I don't think that's the number one pick on their wish list.
Well, I was going to say, do the fans want Andy Ruiz Jr.? Because he's been talking this week. We ran it on talkSPORT. He's saying that he would be well up for a decider almost in that trilogy.
Well, when you look at me, you know I'll take on anyone. And at the same time, there's an element where the promoters want me to fight certain people. And as I said, the fighters that they want me to fight is out of that pool of the 5 versus 5 card on June the 1st. And then after that, they're looking at the Tyson Fury fight. So I would fight Usyk. I would love to. I would fight Andrew Ruiz. I would love to. But at the same time, it's what the fans want, and I think they want me to head towards Tyson Fury. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Hey, look, man of the people. Finally, obviously.
I'm a man of myself, first and foremost.
And the people. You say you can be a man of many things.
Nah. I'll fight for myself. I'll fight for myself. Listen, you got to do it for yourself, first and foremost.
I love that. Well, finally, obviously, that is the next big fight coming up, Alexander Usyk, Tyson Fury. Just tell me, how's that going to go?
Well, look, I've fought Alexander Usyk, so I can only speak on what I've experienced with him. Phenomenal fighter, does everything to a T. And I would say he's going to do a really good job. I have never fought Tyson Fury, so I can't really speak on how he'll perform or what it's like to face him. So only speaking on what I know, I'd have to say Alexander Usyk will be victorious.
Okay, look, it's been great catching up.
Respect,
we got that date.
September 21st.
That week, yeah?
Yes, that week.
You got to book a week off.
Yes.
If you want to see AJ.
Be in North
this
London.
Autumn. North London. Plenty to do around North London, isn't there?
Plenty to do.
Go and see Watford. You know Watford well?
Yeah, you can see Watford.
There's a shopping centre there, isn't there?
Just check go online, Wembley Arena, see what's going on around Wembley Arena, Wembley Stadium.
What you're saying is there's clues. There might be clues on the Wembley Arena website.
Check out the websites and you'll see what's happening.
Go watch some concerts,
watch
get
some
nice
concerts
food.
in the meantime, and get ready for a good night of boxing.
Anthony Joshua in Monaco at the Formula E, catching up with John Jackson. Do you know something? It's really nice to hear Joshua in that frame of mind.
Vibrant.
Speaking the way that he's speaking.
And not guarded.
Well, just excited about what's to come.
It's good. It's great to see, really.
And from a British fight fan's point of view, great to hear him talking about the possibility of fighting on UK soil once again. Because it felt like the heavyweight division was mainly based in Saudi Arabia for a period of time there, but to have something come back to UK soil, I'm sure the fans will be out in force buying tickets to see Anthony Joshua do his thing. Yeah, well, I know we're going to talk about this later, but the expansion is global now from that investment. So to have a major event in Wembley will silence all those damn naysayers about what's going on in boxing at the moment. A big Wembley event will be amazing. Joshua will sell the place out if he fights there. There's no question about it. How do you think it'll play? Because there's so many different names that you could throw into this mix, couldn't you? And obviously we've got the super fight that we're all excited about on May the 18th. That's obviously for Undisputed. Do you see maybe fragmentation of belts there? Because Anthony Joshua's whole conversation has been, I want to be 3-time world champion. Now, do you see September, as he's alluding to here, being for a world title that has become maybe vacant? From the situation that we see in May?
I think that's the likeliest scenario, and him fighting the winner of Filip Hrgović and Daniel Dubois. At this juncture, I see Hrgović as a minor favourite in that one. Hrgović would be an amazing opponent for the IBF title, as would Daniel Dubois. It's a great London derby, that one. And I think if Deontay Wilder does a number on Zhili Zhang, there's an opponent for Anthony Joshua if he retains or wins that IBF title again, if that's on the line. And Fury and Usyk need to do that second fight, which will be in October and November. So it keeps him busy against then a Wilder potentially if he beats Filip Hrgović. And then we get Fury and Usyk a second time. And if Fury wins the second time, then we get Joshua and Fury. I mean, what a year we'll have had then if that takes us into, say, February next year. It'd be amazing.
Do you know what the beautiful thing is about this conversation, right? We've had many of these.
A year ago.
How many times have we had these conversations over 5-6 years doing this programme?
We
right?
have, but now it's real. Right, I'm going to say this. Pop the corks, Adam Catterall, because it is a champagne time. You can't talk about warm beer anymore. No. This is champagne time.
Once upon a time we did. And I agree with you. That's the whole point of what I was kind of alluding to there with you, is that when you've had these conversations with me in the past and I've had them back with you over the last 5 years...
You've never believed me, have you?
Well, I don't think boxing has. It's not just a me thing. I think boxing has looked at it and gone, I'll believe it when I see it. And to this point, everything's been true because those things have not materialised. However, last 6 months, we've started to see things happen that haven't traditionally happened. And they've happened because Turki Al-Sheikh has come into the sport and he's obviously put the money on the table and getting people to work together, of which is satisfying a lot of people's thirsts. And now what we're seeing is a real belief in these types of conversations. So when people say, will we see Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury? It's a high percentage. In the way that you think about that now. Whereas in the past I'm thinking, well, this promoter might think this and this broadcaster this and this, that and the other. Now I'm like, well, all that's been eradicated.
Yeah.
The only thing is, do the fans want to see it? And if the answer is yes to that, then we'll get it. Yeah,
but also I think, if you look back at incidents over the last 6-7 months, when Tyson Fury cut his eye, it was dealt with alacrity. With absolute meticulous precision, 24 hours later, by Turki Al-Sheikh, getting Usyk and Fury on a dual cast on Ariel Helwani's show in America, and saying, right, this is happening, this is what's happened, I'm pledging this. And we've been used to things kind of riding for a few weeks in boxing and decisions being made, but because they've got the wherewithal to be able to say, no, get it done, it's going to get done every time. And remember, if either Fury or Usyk don't turn up on May the 18th, it's a 10 million forfeiture, and that jubilant man who we heard just now at the Formula E in Monaco, Monte Carlo, Monaco, could well be stepping in there, and someone's going to have to forfeit 10 million. I think they will fight each other, but, you know, he's ready. You can tell he's ready.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.